Hello, welcome to my top 10 albums of 2016. Yeah, so these are just the albums that I've listened to and I thought were great, and there are some albums that I haven't listened to or anything like that. Those, well, I didn't really care for them, or I didn't think they were interesting enough to look into. So, if you ever thought, hey, this album is really good, and it's not here, what the F, right? Then I probably didn't listen to it. If you really like the album, comment down below. Say, hey, listen to this. It's great. You can do that. So, I have 5 honorable mentions, and then we'll get into the top 10. So, the first honorable mention is, Taking One for the Team by Simple Plan. This was a pretty alright album. I liked it. Some people didn't, but I did. My favorite songs off of this was Opinion Overload, Boom, Farewell, Singing in the Rain, and Perfectly Perfect. Those were my favorite songs, but those are all good songs. They are peppy, some are sad, some are more towards their original Simple Plan album. Some of them are more, towards, I guess, I don't know, some more upbeat pop, but I like those. The next honorable mention was Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. This was an alright album too. This is a very different direction for Childish Gambino, and I thought it was alright. I was expecting, like, those hard-hitting bars that Childish Gambino usually gives on his albums, but it's a little different direction. I kind of liked it. My favorite songs off of this one were Me and Your Mama, Zombies, and Redbone. Those were pretty good. Yeah. And then my next honorable mention after that is Landlord by Giggs. Giggs, great grime rapper. I like this album. My favorite, I guess, tracks off of this one were The Blowback, Lockdough, and Lyrical Combat. Those are pretty good. If you haven't listened to grime, I'd give it a chance. This is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I like the album. I haven't seen a Giggs album in a long time, and I'm happy. I saw this pop up. I'm like, whoa, I did not expect this, but here it is. I'm pretty sure if you like grime, this is probably a good album for you. If you don't like grime and you want to introduce yourself to it, this is an alright album to do it. Yeah, my next honorable mention is J.Cole, For Your Eyes Only. I thought this was an alright album, not as great as 2014 Forest Hills Drive, but still, it still holds its own. I feel like 2014 Forest Hills would probably be his best album. J. Cole might have a little bit of a problem with topping that, but this is not a bad album at all. It's not a bad album at all. My favorite tracks of this one were Immortal, Deja Vu, Change, and then Neighbors. Neighbors was pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad album. My last honorable mention before I get into the top 10 was Debbie by Lil Debbie. This album is a step up for Lil Debbie. This album really shows that Lil Debbie can do something different. She improved her quality on this. She improved her rapping. My favorite track by far is Tell Me. She has a music video for it. It's pretty good. But I also like F That and Queen and Whoop with Stara. Those are pretty good. And Turn 'Em Out. Turn 'Em Out was very good too. But this is a really good step up from Lil Debbie. If you listen to Lil Debbie before and you're like, she's alright, listen to this one. This is definitely a step up and a step in the right direction for Lil Debbie, by far. So now let's get into the top 10. So number 10, I thought, was Malibu by Anderson .Paak. Now this is a great album. It's a nice, I guess, R&B kind of soulish album. I really like this album. This was one of the very few albums that I could sit through and listen to all the way because I have horrible attention span, but this is one of the ones that I could sit through and just listen to and just chill out to. This is a pretty good album. My favorite track off of this one was Room in Here by far, but all the other ones are really good too. So definitely listen to this album if you like Anderson .Paak, or if you just like R&B and kind of soulish type of vibe. My number 9 is Night Sports by 303, and 303 hasn't released an album since Omens, which I think was in 2013, but, you know, I like 303, I've liked 303 for a while. Some people don't like 303 because they sound childish or whatever, or they have childish topics, especially with My Dick off this album, which, you know, I don't mind, but, you know, they have other better, or, like, more, I guess, mature songs, I guess, but I kind of like their immaturity here. My favorite tracks off this was BASMF, 7-Eleven, Freak Your Mind, and Hear Me Now, but I like all of these. If you loved 303 in the past, then you're probably going to like this album. I'd give it a shot, definitely. Number 8, I believe, yeah, number 8 is Passion, Pain, Demon Slayin by Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, after his last album, Speedin' Bullet to Heaven, not my personal favorite, but, you know, whatever. This is definitely back to the old Cutter that we know. Not a bad album, overall. I like it, there were a couple of duds, but not too bad, not too bad. My favorite tracks off of this by far were, Frequency here, All In, Baptized in Fire, and, where'd it go? Crap, By Design, yeah, By Design. Those are my 4 favorite tracks off of this, but the rest of them, they're really, like, more spacey, I guess. If you really like spacing out, this is a good album to space out to, but, you know, I like the album. It also has a couple of, features from Andre 3000, and if you like Andre 3000, you probably like the tracks that he's on here. Yeah, I mean, you know, next album we have is 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. Now, this album is something else. This is a throwback to like the 90s and 80s-ish style music, and Bruno Mars pulls it off almost perfectly. It's great. I love every single track off of this, and yeah, the only reason I didn't put this higher is because I'm not usually a person who listens to 80s funk all the time, but whenever I am in the mood for it, this is a great album. I love it. If you like 80s funk, if you like 90s-ish music here, it has all the right songs for it. They have a sex song, they have a turn-up song, all of that, all love songs, whatever you want on this album. This is 9 tracks of goodness if you like this type of stuff. I love it. I love it. This is a great album. The next album here, what was it? 9, 8, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. Number 6. Haha. I'm bad at counting. Number 6 here is Webster's Lab 2. This follow-up from Webster's Lab 1 in 2011. I really like this album / mixtape or whatever Chris Webby put up. This is really good. My favorite tracks off of this by far were both of the verses, Feel the Burn and Dat Piff. Ignition, that was a really good track right there. I still listen to it now. Jurassic Park was great. Cali Dreaming, Chemical Romance, and Brass Tacks. Those were my favorite off of this. But if you like Chris Webby, if you like kind of like more nerdcore rap, this is for you. Yeah, Chris Webby puts out those types of raps there. And if you just want to listen to something that isn't like from somebody that's like West Coast or like gangster rap or something like that, you want to listen to some Connecticut rap, here's something for you, right? Now my number 5 here is Strange Music here. The next 3 albums are from Strange Music, but I really like strange music. What can I say? It's a little biased, but I just really like it. So number 5 is Top of the Line by Rittz. Rittz is a great album if you like Rittz, if you like kind of just like Georgia rap, and it's not trap. It's not trap. It's some good old Rittz rap, like I call it. Rittz is his own lane. It's awesome. Great, great album. It's a little long, but you know, there's 27 tracks that you can get off of this album, but I like the album. If you don't like long albums, I wouldn't listen to it all the way. I'd listen to, I'd start out with like Ghost Story. Ghost Story is a really good single. Propane's great. The Formula, Inside the Groove, those are really good tracks to start out with, and if you really like those, and I keep going down and down. But it's a really good album. If you like Rittz, go listen to it. It's great. Even if you don't like Rittz, I'd really give this a shot. This is a great album overall, even though it's a little long, but it's still a good album. My next album, number 4, is Go, Krizz Kaliko, also a strange music signee. This is a great album. It's shorter, which is why I like it a little bit more than Ritz's album. It's a little shorter, which I don't have that great of an attention span, so I can't. Yeah, but that's not a reason not to like an album though. So besides this, Krizz Kaliko goes almost all out R&B in this, which I love. This is awesome, great album. My favorite songs. I love the sound on this. 7 produces great, as well as with the upcoming album I'm about to talk about and Ritz's album. I like his production on this, and yeah, my favorite tracks off of this by far were Orangutan, Wallflower, Stop the World, Happy-ish, and Talk Upon It. Talk Upon It should have been a pop hit. Should have been a pop hit. I'm telling you right now. Should have been a pop hit, but it wasn't. But it's a great song. If you like this type of pop music, listen to Talk Upon It. I don't care. Listen to it, right? And then the other ones are more what Krizz Kaliko does. He brings his emotion into it, and he really takes take this like thing of like depression or sadness and really makes you feel better about yourself, like he always does with other tracks like Hello Walls and things like that on his other albums. But this is also a great album to jam out to if you're feeling a little down. Really can help you bring you up here. You can really relate to what Krizz is going through or whatever. And my number 3 album here is The Storm by Tech 9. Now this is also a long album, but it's 2 discs, right? So I like this album. It's Tech 9. I always like Tech 9, so I gotta love this album. I love this album personally. If you don't like Tech 9, I wouldn't really go into it head on. Just listen to all the tracks on here, but some of the ones I've definitely listened to is Godspeed, Sriracha, Everybody But Me, Get Off Me, I Get It Now, and What If It Was Me. Those are great tracks to start off with. Tech 9 really talks about gun violence and like the police divide and What If It Was Me, and then he also talks about other stuff. Now he also has Obligated Party track, Everybody But Me, great banger. I love it. Get Off Me is also great. It features Darian Saffron, a new signee, which he raps in this one. So give it a chance. Great song. Anyways, Godspeed, he addresses, I guess, how he's kind of his own light. I don't know, but this is like the first CD. The first CD, those are great tracks. Second CD has a lot of the other. It's like a mini Strangulation, if you know what I'm talking about. On the second CD, it has a bunch of other artists on the label, and he features their songs for the upcoming like year. As Travis Oglin, the CEO of Strange Music, Strange Music themselves put out like an hour-long talk with the CEO, saying what's coming up for 2017, and a lot of these people, yeah. Sorry about that. Family calls. Yeah, so I was talking about the second CD where it has all of a bunch of new strange music artists and old strange music artists that are coming up with albums this year. My favorite tracks off the second CD by far were Own Thing by J.Cole. That is a dope ass track. I don't give a shit. That is the best track I've ever heard by J.Cole. Ever. That is awesome. It's awesome, awesome track, awesome track. I don't give a shit. It's awesome. Next, I also love Ignorance. I love Deleted, Ignorance by Darian Saffron, Deleted by Mackenzie Nicole. Gridlock by Cess Crew. They're coming out with an album this February. I'm excited for that. I also like Wet by Tech9. He also adds a couple of other tracks in here too. But those were really good. I'm excited for those releases, which I might talk about in another video. But yeah, yeah. My number 2 album here is Skepta with Konnichiwa. This is also another awesome grime album. If you don't know about grime, want to get into grime, this is another great album. This is probably, I listened to this first before I listened to Landlord. This is a shorter album. It's really good. I really like it. Skepta came out with a great album here. I'm ready. I'm ready for more grime this year. I'm really ready. So, my favorite tracks off of this one was by far Crime Rhythm, It Ain't Safe, Ladies Hit Squad, Man, and then That's Not Me. Those are great tracks to start off with in this album. Just listen to the whole album if you haven't heard of grime and you want to get into it, or if you already know about grime. It's a great album by Skepta. Yeah, I'm excited to see what grime comes out next year. Maybe a new JME album. I don't know. But this is a great album. I'd really give it a shot. It doesn't really matter. I'd give it a shot. Now, my number 1 album. Now, this album hits you on so many different levels. This is an awesome, awesome album. I Don't Belong Here by Pryde. This album is the shit. I don't care. All 12 tracks are fucking amazing. You thought the other albums were good? This album is the shit. I don't give a fuck, right? Awesome album by Pryde. He brings out all his emotion into this. This is so good. I'm ready for the new Russell album that's coming out in 2017. But this album is great. All the tracks are awesome. Chelsea Boots, Rose's Intro, Aggressive, I Don't Belong, Enough Said, U2, Thompson Diner Freestyle, Lost and Found, Whatever, Healer, William Shakespeare, When It's All Over, Ear to Listen. All 12 tracks are great. I listen to this album. I don't care who you are. Listen to this album. This album has emotion, right? It has some nice. It has bars, really. It has bars from the Thompson Diner Freestyle, and so this Pryde is such a great singer and a rapper. This album is awesome, top notch. I'm ready for Russell 2017. He's already released a few singles, which I already love too. Pryde is a great rapper. I'm waiting for him to blow up. This album is great. The production is also really, really good. Shout out to Pryde for putting out this album. It's freaking amazing. Freaking fack amazing. I don't care. Alright? This album is great. Yeah. That's basically it. If you ever want to listen to these albums, most of these are on iTunes. You can also find these through YouTube. I'll just have a link to Genius, Genius.com in the description. That's where I got most of these, and I'll have the iTunes page for Lil Debbie because Genius does not have the full track list for Lil Debbie's Debbie on Genius. But whatever. I have a link to Genius.com, and if you ever want to know my other opinions, stay tuned. I will make a couple of more videos about 2016's music. One of them, oh well actually I only have one in plans. One of them is, the only one is my favorite EPs of this year, and then I have one last video that I'm gonna make, which is what I'm excited for in 2017. So stay tuned for that. If you want to watch, if you like this video, give it a like. If you really like it and you want to share it, go ahead. I don't care. Do it. I dare you. But if you hate this video, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. I want to see how this video turns out. It probably sucks, but whatever. I'm out. Bye. Peace.